Alright, this is my side of the cube draft with Ryan. I don't draft cube that often, so we'll see how this goes. Which is to say, I do not know. I mean, I don't even know half the cards, so that'll be fun too. So what jumps out? I know what Khan Sign of Urza does, and he's pretty good, and is colourless, so it keeps me open longer. The only other thing that jumps out is Teferi's Tutelage for Blue Mill, I guess. But Khan gives us more flexibility. The question is whether we just press hard into Blue Mill, but the Blue Mill feels bad as well, isn't it? Corpse Knight's good in black-white alone. Ranger's good in white aggro, it looks like. Sweltering Suns is a Wrath effect, kind of. Fatal Push is obviously good removal. But yeah, Khan Sign of Urza gives us card advantage, is a 4-drop, and is colourless. So it's got all that going for it. So we'll take that over Tutelage, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you do want to watch this and watch it back and tell me what on earth I'm doing and doing wrong, I'm all ears. I'm definitely all that. But we will just see how this goes. And we're 2 seats down from Ryan, so that'll be fun too. Anyway, that is an adequate first pick in a sense that it will go in most decks, as what it does is gives us card advantage. The -2's fine. It means that we might want more artifacts. But we'll see, eh? Okay. Elspeth Conquers Death, fine removal. Does a bit more, of course, with recursion as well. Traxos goes in with the artifact theme. Lily's a good planeswalker. Black Plume Rogue's a nice card as well. So, what do we think? Traxos makes us want to do the... I guess the question is whether... Is Lily better than Traxos? They're both 4-drops. What else can we do? Dryad gives us a ton of ramp and gives us multicolor ability and is a 2/4/3 drop. So maybe Dryad is good because it allows fixing and also cuts green. And Traxos may wheel if other people aren't doing the artifact thing. I'm not sure this is right, of course, but what do I know? But let's take Dryad here. It might be Feanor took a green card and that's why this one made it here. Sure. Well, that's a ton of green. Voracious Hydra comes in and fights. Dryad Green Seeker is more ramp. Conclave Mentor likes counters, and Kazundu's good for landfall. Procession's good for tokens, which I'm not doing. So, I guess the question here is it worth getting Dryad Green Seeker for the potential ramp and to fill some of the lower slots? And what are we giving up if we do that? At the moment, we're not doing the counters thing, so Conclave Mentor's not great. Kazundu's a nice spland, but may wheel. Assassin's Trophy is also good, but kind of ramps the opponent. It might be a depowered option. I suppose the thing is that if we get Arc, Bow Ranger and Conclave Mentor wheels, there's hope for us. And what are we ramping into at the moment? Stuffer. We'll take Green Seeker, get a 2-drop that does ramp, and we'll go from there, and we'll see what occurs. This is almost certainly a mistake. So Radha lets us cast from the top of our library, and we could wheel Morag or escape to the wilds if we end up Gruul. Savage Stomp doesn't do a lot for us right now. Florahedron again is more ramp, but we've got nothing we're ramping into right now, really. I think I like speculating on Radha here. So let's do that. Over Morag and Florahedron. The alternative is we take Morag and hope Radha wheels. Because we're looking to ramp into some big things. Let's take Morag and see if Radha wheels. So Once Upon a Time isn't shabby here. So's Electro Dominance. We want that overclaim, I think. But Once Upon a Time lets us find creature or land and is a free spell in the early game, and we might get some burn. And at the moment we've only got one red card, so let's take Once Upon a Time. We're not doing a life gain thing right now, so we don't really want veto. Yeah, we'll take Once Upon a Time here. Banned goodness. So what are we at the moment? We're ramping into nowhere. But that makes a Garruk reasonably attractive. Over Return of the World Speaker. Or Rimrock Knight. Dragon Master Outcast likes ramping, but that might come back. Likes having lots of land. Yeah, we'll take Garruk here. Over the Dragon Master Outcast, and we'll see if the Dragon Master wheels. At the moment, I certainly feel I'm green X. I'm not committed to red yet. So here I'm not convinced any of these reds are great. Spikefield Hazard for the Spland or Thassa's Intervention if we end up green-blue. But I've been passing a ton of blue. But I like Thassa's Intervention more than any of the red cards, so I will take that one. Collected Company, Mere, Thundering Rebuke, fine. We're not doing a ton of counter stuff, so Khan's Bastion's not spectacular. We're not in the colours for Savai Triome. So I think we take Rebuke here. It's either that or Essence Scatter. And we've got more reason to be in red than blue at the moment. But not by a lot. So we will see. We're fairly low on creatures. We've got 3 creatures at the moment. And 2 planeswalkers. Mustn't get greedy. And we'll see how much of the red wheels, because that was the end of the pack and there was a ton of red in. We're now on the wheel. So Garruk's Uprising likes red-blue ferocious. The alternative is the Arachneer. But if we're going to end up red-green stompy, I think Uprising isn't a bad build around. I like it more than Spectral Sailor, and I think I like it more than the Arachneer. It's definitely encouraging us to play ramp and big creatures. So let's do that. So the Royal Eruption wheeled, but so did Traxos, but we don't have legendary, enchantment creature. Those aren't legendary. I think we take Royal Eruption over Traxos. Garruk's Uprising gives other stuff trample anyway. Yeah, it's bland, but we'll take it. So now we take Dead Ash. The counter thing did wheel, but we've kind of gone off that. So our base is green, but we've got some good stuff in red. We'll just have to wait and see what Pack 2 does and what we end up fighting over. So it's Shock or Escape to the Wilds here. Wilds is more card advantage. And we're playing big stuff, so let's take Wilds over Shock. Let's assume that the game will go long and we want card advantage. Now we will take Claim, but that may end up a sideboard card. So Uprising, Time, Khan, the Dragon Master wheeled, and we do want that because we are going to be wanting to do landfall with Dryad and Green Seeker. But sadly, Radha didn't wheel. Let's hope that means we're not fighting someone else over red-green. Okay, that can go in the deck for now. It's a 2-drop. So in this hand, Great Henge, I guess. There's no red for one. Great Henge supports big powered creatures and helps with life gain and putting stuff out of reach. Like it more than the Ratchet Bomb. More than an off-color Planeswalker, more than Bonder's Enclave, although again that works with Power 4. Jade Light Ranger's okay too, but yeah, Henge sounds good to me. Let's do that. So cuts are likely to be... Anyway, Insult to Injury does damage can't be prevented this turn if a source you control deal damage this turn deals double damage. Nice. And Injury is Aftermath. Cast it from your graveyard. And then it's like 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. That's not a bad double-faced card. What else have we got? Goblin Chain Whirler likes being in mono red. Valakut Awakening is more draw and spland. What do we think? I think it's between Chainwhirl of Valakut Awakening and Insult to Injury. So I've used Valakut Awakening more than Insult to Injury, so I can't really judge them evenly. Awakening is a spland and will help us rummage away lands. So I'm going to take Awakening, but that might be wrong. So Torbran is pushing us into mono red. Which we have time to do if we cut some of our green or we get greedy on the splashing. Anax would be a safer pick. But the idea of another red player getting Torbran makes me queasy enough that I'll take it. Yeah, we'll take Torbran. That might be wrong. So now we take Direfleet Daredevil when it enters special to exile target instant quarter from an opponent's graveyard. Okay, so that's one that doesn't mind coming in later because it allows you to cast one of their spells. Sure. So what does a mono red deck look like? It's only 6 creatures. And it needs a bit more burn. So at the moment we're still red-green and we're not running Torbran. Brushfire is fine with landfall. And Dryad allows for more landfall. We've got a couple of burn spells so far. I think it's between Lightning Axe and Brushfire Elemental. With Radagon, maybe we are fighting red-green. But Lightning Axe only targets a creature. So I think we'll take Brushfire. And we'll stick with what we're doing. Which appears to be red-green. We've now got creatures in the early slot. We're now looking for bigger creatures. And a bit more removal. Although Shieldbreaker, of course, is functional removal. Whoever's got Conclave Mentor will love Branching Evolution coming around as well. What puts counters on things? Garruk doesn't. Garruk only pumps. So that's doing nothing for me. And I'm not going to hate draft. We'll take Shieldbreaker. A Fabled Passage for Brushfire Elemental wouldn't be a bad thing. And Morag. If we treat Valakut as a land, we've still got 6 cards to add. So, Caravan is a manalith that you can turn into a creature. Fauna Shaman lets you search up creatures. So, Caravan or Dragonfire, I guess. I've never used Caravan, which is why I'm confused, but it does function as a creature. Go on, dog. Go on, go with Jenny. Yeah, we'll take Cultivator's Caravan over Scorching Dragonfire, which again may be an error, but it's an error I can live with. Barliged is great recovery. Lightning Strike is good. Burn and Devil's Play is a good burn as well. Okay, so now I'm starting to think I'll take Devil's Play here because I might be able to go mono red in the end. Potentially. And if I do go mono red and Obosh happens to wheel, we'll take Devil's Play here for the face burn. Grim Initiate wheels, which will take... Let's see what a mono red looks like again, just in case we're going that way. A few bits of burn, a bunch of creatures. I'm still uncertain. Still feel like Gruul's doing a little more. But if we're going on a red, we can play Goblin Chain Whirler. Yeah, let's take that. So Key to the City in a red aggro deck's not terrible. And of course we can just use it to loot away lands if we need to. Here we just hate draw something, I guess. Cultivator's Caravan is a manalith, so I guess we can... If we get some dual lands, we could splash for some green stuff. But at the moment, none of these are doing anything for us right now. Alright. So now we're staring down the barrel of mono red. And we may want to keep that in the deck if we get the right splash color cards. So Dual Caster enables a double spelling. Scorch Spitter is nice with mono red aggro and Torbrand though. But I have got a few... I think maybe we take Dual Caster Mage here over Scorch Spitter and hope no one else is in mono red aggro. Sure. Dual caster mage it is. Right, Aurelia. Classic dog. We need to see some more red-white dual lands for Aurelia to run safely, I think. The problem with Guruk's Uprising and the red-green plan is we definitely can't run Chainwhirler or Torbram. We'll move Aurelia out for now. So, we may still move all the green in. So, Dragon's got something we're not doing. She can stay with me. Just shut the door. A Coon Warrior. Also a Spland. We'll go with that. Soggy Doggy, been outside. Right. Deemworthy is effectively cycle 4 to deal 2 damage. Seems a bit meh. Yeah, we'll take a Coon Warrior here, and we're likely to run it as a creature. So, a few reds in here. Chandra's nice. Captivating Crew, 4 for a 4/3, pay 4. So it's an act of treachery creature. How many creatures have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the caravan, 10, 11, 12. So we still need a few more creatures. Captivating Crew does some work, helps the curve, ruins combat math. So I think we have to take it over the Awakened Inferno. The question is how much better Awakened Inferno is. 6 can't be countered. Pings for 1. Burns all creatures. No, okay, I don't like it. I might be wrong. Captivating Crew it is. That helps with combat math. Dualcaster Mage after Claim the Firstborn also does. We've got a few burn spells. We can come out with Torbran. We'll have to see if we get there. And if we don't get there, we can always fall back on our big green plan as well. So 2 for a 2/1 haste. Comes back. 4 for Chandra ramp. So we could get Crag Crown and put some red-green creatures in. But Chandra helps with ramp and does deal damage. Chandra seems to do a lot here. And if we're going to stay mono red, it's probably better. We've got Pyromancer, not Pyromancer, Shield Breaker to remove a braid. Yeah, let's go Chandra, why not? Might be wrong, but I'm doing it. So maybe a couple more creatures and some more burn, and I'm happy and don't need to splash. So intervention. Yeah, I'm not targeting my own creatures, so feather's no good. We'll take intervention here. Devil's Play can burn face. Royal Eruption can burn face. 2 other creature burn spells, some creature thieving to ruin combat maths. Let's see if Scorched Spitter wheels or not. If it wasn't that pack, which it might have been. Morag is not doing a lot with no second landfall option, I guess. That's somewhat problematic. I guess there's no Cleansing Wildfire or anything. Ooh, Skew the Critics. Not bad. We don't... Needle Verge Pathway allows us to play Aurelia, I guess. So what does Aurelia do? Mentors at the beginning of combat, choose up to 1 target you control until under turn it gets +2 does not gains trample if it's red. I guess the question is there still time for mana fixing? Because Skewer the Critics is cheap burn again. I can't give up Skewer, I don't think. We'll see if no one else is in red-white, in which case Needle Verge is likely to wheel and might allow us to put Aurelia in. Because we'll have Cultivator and the land, so that's at least 2 sources. We shall see. Alright, so we're going mono red. Not necessarily aggro, it's curved. So I guess we take turn Timber Symbiosis here in case we want to run any green cards over Domra's Ambush. But I don't think we are, personally. Okay, so we take... Do we take Chandra Heart Fire here? It has got a shock effect. It's better than Filigree Familiar, which is just card advantage. Yeah, fine. If we treat Valakut as a land and Akuma's a spland, we're more or less at the deck. The question is, what are we going to cut if we get better things? 3 Planeswalkers seems a bit crazy, since we need bodies to protect them. We're not doing stuff with energy, so I guess Blast Zone or Skyclave Relic. Blast Zone, because we've already got Caravan for some mana source. Now we don't need a ton of ramp. So we'll take the land. I don't know about this deck, but we'll run out. We'll see, won't we? Okay. What do we least want to see run up against us? Looks like no one really is in black if they don't want a Massacre Worm. We'll just cut the Sprite. We're not going to run any of the other cards. What has this deck got? "12 creatures, 3 planeswalkers, some burn." Yep. Magma Jet's fine. May want to swap out some planeswalkers to some creatures or key to the city. If the deck's a mess, we can always try and sideboard it into a red-green pile that behaves better in game 2. So we'll take Crag Crown here in case we end up running red-green. Oh well. We'll take Wilderness Wreck for anyone doing a janky build around. River Glide in case we want to splash a blue card, which isn't happening, and Ram Through we're not likely to run, but there you go. Okay, so that's our deck, whether we like it or not. It's a 40 card deck. Shall we give it a go? What's the worst that could happen? Right, thanks for watching. Let me know how I could have drafted way better there. And I'll record my playthrough.